So our 1-0 loss at Hobart against Western United occurred over the weekend, and I wanted to come here and do a little video discussing it because I had a great time in Hobart. It's probably, and this is really fucking sad, gonna go down as like my favorite game of this season, but it was still shit on field. It was a nice trip. There was a bit of singing going on in the, there was no like designated away bay, but Sydney fans kind of congregated near the Western United tunnel, and some funny calls to the players were heard. I can't remember any of them. I just remember laughing occasionally. But yeah, the atmosphere from a Sydney perspective was all you could hope for on an interstate away day. But on field, it was another fucking appalling performance and another late kick in the teeth too. Like, what, 2 penalties missed against Wellington in the 90th minute? Fuck me. Then we conceded in the 102nd minute to Perth, and now I think it was like in the 80s in terms of when we conceded to that Diamante, halfway chip shot, but still, it's like we just lack the opposite of the clutch gene. Like, instead of, being the ones pursuing a win or an equalizer in late game situations, we instead, pursue defeat by just falling apart. Like, Redmayne was off his line. It was the perfect chip shot from Diamante, but, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the keeper is just to blame there, and like, I don't want to do the whole thing of Sydney fans constantly flip-flopping on Redmayne. Besides, I think last season, I've always been pretty pleased with what he's done for Sydney, so I don't want to slander him too much, but at the same time, it's just another keeper mistake that's cost us a point that could have been valuable in avoiding the wooden spoon, or even maybe, probably not, making a late charge for finals. But really, the blame lies with Steve Corica. I mean, look, the blame lies with fucking everyone at Sydney FC, because I don't know where the process starts. Like, I don't think you can go, because they did this, and now they play like this. Like, I don't think you can do it there. But the players, like, they look less talented than we know they are, which is just a problem. Like, Ryan Grant constantly does fuck all down the right. The midfield is very bypassable. Like, I know they go out and they probably put in 100%, but what's it getting us? Like, I don't notice any of them. Yazbek stagnated. Bratton's been not very impactful since his return from an injury. Like, before his injury, he was dominating games, and I mean, he wasn't scoring too often, but he was putting in long shots and threatening teams. He was quite imposing from the midfield, and you just don't see that from him anymore. And then Lolly and Mac try their best, but they're so isolated and just bereft of options that they can't really do much for this team. And I mean, the only like shout out to the players I think you could give is like Lolly was the first person over and has been consistently to the fans this season. Like, otherwise, all the players, like, even when they come over to the fans, they just seem lethargic. Like, nobody cares. Like, people just want to see that you're like, oh fuck, we appreciate you being here. That's all that people want to see. Like, it doesn't have to be this big fucking all 18 players walk up and just do it in your own fucking time and then get off the pitch and think about what you are doing, because it's not good enough. But yeah, it's like, seriously, it's the players have obviously been underperforming this season. Then that ties in with the manager, Steve Corica, who just can't do anything with this team anymore. He's changed up the system, and I thought it'd work, but we clearly don't have the players, or he doesn't have the aptitude as a tactician to get across what he wants the players to do, and in turn, we're just doing nothing all game. All game, we are just out of ideas, shitty crosses into the box. If a chance falls our way, whoop-de-fucking-do. But, like, we are worse than, like, prime Marco Kerr... No, not Marco Kerr's Victory, but prime Marco Kerr's Adelaide. I mean, to be fair, they got top 6 finishes and won trophies. So, of course, we're worse than them. But, yeah, we're just so lacking when it comes to creativity in the way we go about attacking teams, that it's just like, what can the manager do? I've seen it with, like, Brendan Rodgers' Liverpool side. You could see it with Ole throughout his entire spell at Man United. Thank God those dumb fucks had that shitty song that kept him around for 3 years. And yeah, you can see it with Steve Corica. I mean, for me, he's like, if we had centre backs, he'd be playing a back three right now. A back three is the Hail Mary of lost managers, and the only reason we're not playing a back three is because we don't have enough centre backs. And that brings me to the fucking board. I'm quite busy. It's Tuesday morning. I've got to head off to work, and I'm still in my fucking pajamas. But I wanted to go. I'm pretty sure, because I remember listening to the Brisbane press conference at the end of last season from Steve Corica, and I'm like 90% sure he said that Sydney FC this off-season needed to sign a striker, an attacking midfielder, a left back, and a centre back. And we've not signed a striker, so we're left up top with Alfie. We've not signed a number 10, so we've got no creativity giving any of our forward players options. I mean, Anthony Caceres is the best in that position, and he is not good enough. Like, he's an average A-League player. I like him around the squad, but we need more than that to be winning the A-League, or winning games even in the A-League. A centre-back, we're still lacking. We're playing 45-year-old Alex Wilkinson, Jack Rodwell, who is perpetually injured, Aaron Gerd, who is just, like, he's good occasionally, but he's not ready for first-team football. Like, maybe bringing him on as, like, a third centre-back for a final 10 minutes of a game we're holding on to, yeah, but starting him regularly is a big fucking no-no. And then fucking Donkey, get him out. He's a Victory player. No, I don't necessarily, like, have any animosity towards Donkey in the way he goes about playing for Sydney, but he is just crap. And yeah, we're just lacking. As like, we needed a dominant centre back that was going to play 26 games for us this season, and instead we've got just, you know, musical chairs going on in that position. And then look, we signed Caballo. I think Caballo could work. He's got enough about him to, you know, make impacts on games, but he's just playing in a shit team. He's clearly not the most complete left back. I think he's supposed to be more attacking inclined. And like, I think if you put him in that 17-18 team, he's probably not as good as Zulo, but I think he definitely makes himself loved amongst Sydney fans. But putting him in this team, he's just fucking abhorrent. And yeah, that's the board not going out and getting who we need, because I assume, I don't know. I mean, I'd like if because like it's very unclear as to how transfers occur at the club. So I was thinking maybe we could get a professional streaming service to do a documentary on the inner workings of Sydney FC. I know they did like that compilation series of just random Sydney FC footage where some chain smoker just made up shit about last season. But yeah, if they could do like an actual documentary on like the inner workings of the club, that'd be good. Yeah, it was shit. We're fucked, and we've got Melbourne away coming up. I'm flying down tomorrow, and I'm nervous for everything. Last Melbourne away was the worst away bay atmosphere for like a decent turnout I think we've had in my time supporting Sydney FC. Like, it was like, what the fuck? There's so many people here, yet it's like, it's terrible. So I'm hoping that it's better this year, although I fucking doubt it. I know we've sold out a bay and they've opened up a second one, which is good. But yeah, I really, in terms of atmosphere, in terms of joy, I think Hobart is going to be the peak of it for me this season. So, yeah. Well, what did I like about the trip? Is there anything I can mention to you guys? Hobart was just a beautiful city. Like, it's this city surrounded by mountains and water. It's just, it's very intertwined with, like, the local geography, like the local area. Like, there's houses going up the mountains, not all of them, but some of them. And it fits in so well. The architecture's quite old. Like, you walk around Sydney and it's just filled with shit modern art looking buildings or just straight up communist architecture. Like, Sydney is one of the ugliest cities in the world. Like, I don't know how people... Oh, I take great pride in the Harbour Bridge and the filthy fucking water underneath it and those terrible barges that just ship tons of fucking cunts from Manly on a daily basis. It's a hideous sight. Hobart, on the other hand, absolutely beautiful, cheap as fuck. I think, yeah, like, I went and got a couple of pints and a palmy at a pub and paid under like $40 for it, which is all you can really hope for. The beers at the ground were $6 a can, which is really good. The ground was just really nice looking. It wasn't perfect, but it was a very beautiful stadium. Like, you know how you say there's one in Mexico where like it's got the mountain over it, and then there's all those ones in like Croatia where they're under a mountain or like near some cool architecture. And just because I liked Hobart, I liked the stadium because you could see out of it, and it was just a lovely backdrop to be watching football to. Even the dreadful performance of Sydney FC. And how much does it suck to lose to Western United as well? They had no fans there. I mean, they did. Like, there were people in green and black, but fuck them. They're not real. They're fucking Tasmanians. Bloody animals. Yeah, there are no fucking fans there. There's no way they deserve that result. There's no way they deserve to win the fucking grand final. And I would have loved to have just spanked them 3 times this season. At least we've done it once. At least we'll have a home match against them eventually to get our revenge. But, yeah, it's really, really sad supporting Sydney FC right now. But at least it's so fucking pointless and stupid that you can just laugh at everything because, yeah, like, there's no purpose. There's no drive anywhere in the club to do anything. It's just a piss up at this point. So I imagine second half of the season is just going to be about laughing away the pain. But yeah, this is where I'm going to end my Hobart review / little look forward to Melbourne. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope I fucking get this out, this Arvo. But yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts if you have any thoughts, and see ya.